Okay, ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, apparently customization options came. So yeah, this is the authenticity and customization deep dive. This video will be titled "Why I Don't Like New Customization Options," and I'll come back to that. But yeah, I just want to go through this video. Obviously, well, no, okay, we'll start with the helmets. So we've been asking for a helmet editor since the year dot, the F120 for the F1 game, and they've still not delivered it. It is going to look a little bit odd when you try and sign a driver and their helmet doesn't have any of the team sponsors on. Instead, it's got the sponsors of whoever they're racing for now, which, they do need like a generic, this is their driver helmet without sponsors that then you can then customize, add that little bit of extra customization and put the helmet sponsors on. And this is for the existing drivers. This isn't mentioning yourself. Like, what helmets are there going to be in the game? And I do worry that they've taken the option to drive as yourself away from driver career mode, which is going to make driver career mode awful, and that does make me think that, do a season, see what offers we can get, see what it does, and then, walk away from the game. That's my, ultimately, as someone who plays the game, that's what I think about driver career mode. It's a waste of time, personally speaking. My team as well, not having that your own driver, I think this will backfire big time on EA, personally speaking. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, I'm going to play through this video. I'm going to skip through. So yes, we've got base liveries. Okay, let's touch on these liveries. So some of these liveries are a bit bland, and the better looking liveries I have problems with because they're based on sponsors. Now, unless you're Sauber, in which case you've sold yourselves to a betting sponsor and a online streaming company that has terrible colours, your livery of your car is based on the team brand, not your sponsor. Now, I know that you're going to say, well, Mercedes with Petronas. Yes, but if you look at the side of the car, they've still got the Mercedes logo pasted half a dozen times. So although it incorporates the main sponsor, it's the main title sponsor, it's still Mercedes. What this happens is you might as well rename your team to Atlantic Racing, for example. If because that's what this becomes. I mean, some of these are worse than others in terms of customization, but I do think that it's a bit of a problem because obviously yes, these are nice, but it might as well be DSB Optics Grand Prix, and this livery here, I presume that Aperture is the team livery. I mean, first of all, since when would any F1 team have a livery like this? Absolutely not. First of all, there's no options really on this livery other than down here to have carbon fibre. This is where the thing is, it is not a livery editor, and that's a big problem. We should be able to paste and customize this as well. Yes, I like the fact that the decals, they've got different variants down here. If I play, you've got different variants which you get to unlock as you develop those things in my team. I think that's a good step forward. The driver numbers, having multiple variants of the driver numbers, thank you. Yeah, absolutely needed. But at the end of the day, if for example this was Phoenix, I was bringing Phoenix Grand Prix, none of these liveries are going to be I can use, because they're not Phoenix Grand Prix. They're whatever title sponsor, they're Achievy, whatever it is, whatever fake title sponsor they made up. I do love these numbers. Yes, you can rotate this, and this looks awful, to be honest, as a livery. I don't actually like this livery as well. It looks like one of those football teams. You may I don't know if you've ever seen one of those football shirts, and they've got about trying to fill as many tight sponsors as possible. There's like 26 sponsors on a football shirt, where you should only, on the front of the shirt, we should only have one. Yeah, this is what this livery feels like to me. I mean, yes, you might like that, but I don't think I want. If it's for me, I want my liveries to look a little bit realistic. Yes, jazz it up every now and again, but again, this does not say Phoenix Grand Prix. And there's also is this the team logo down here? Like, what have they done to improve the team logos? Because the team logos were awful, and you know, the team logo is your identity of the team. Because if you look at for example, you look at logo of Mercedes, Red Bull, even look at logo of Sauber, and you know what it is. Again, using that example, I know they could use whatever Stakes, Sauber, whatever they Stake, not Sauber, Kick. You look at a logo of Racing Bulls, for example, even though that they should use Toro Rosso, you still know what that is. So this, the logo is again huge disappointment. Again, I do like the fact that you've got slot values as well. I think that's a much better improvement. You've got to adjust your workforce limit and the sponsor as well, and you get new activities and stuff like that. I think that the idea in my team is good, but yeah, in my team is good, but it's impersonal. It's not unique to your team. You're not able to create your identity as well, which is a huge shame. Now I'm going to talk about some of the other bits and pieces, and then we'll go through the rest of this thing. So obviously they've tried to improve the graphics, to be honest. Yeah, they look some of the same. They have rescanned a few of the tracks. I'll get back to some of those as well. Using LiDAR as well, Bahrain, Miami, Melbourne. I think that some of these have been Suzuka as well, and they sent the little robot round as well to drive around and pick up all the points from the surfaces. That's basically, it's a laser basically to pick up points and then model it as well, which I don't mind these tracks, but I think that Melbourne's been done like 3 times in the past 5 years or something like that. So I do wonder, there are other tracks that need there. Brazil, I don't quite think is there. It needs an update. I think Brazil hasn't been done. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Portimao, I know they're not going to care about Portimao. We don't even know if it's in F125, which, you know, it's a great shame. Yes, I'll come back to tracks in a moment about that actually as well. But yes, with the scans as well, I can't quite remember off the top of my head which other tracks do need an update. Possibly Monza is the other one. That's purely off the top of my head, just trying to remember when they were last done, to be honest, which I don't have that detail to hand. If you think of any others, let me know in the comments below. Yes, they say they've improved the weather and lighting. I don't agree, to be honest. Yeah, it may look a little bit better, but yeah, they've moved some of the trees around. The good thing is cherry blossom will be in Japan as well, but as you can see here, that's a nice addition, I think. However, yeah, the benchmark has been set, because I've seen, I think it was iRacing, or I can't quite remember what it was, but there were some videos on Twitter and it looked, you could not tell the difference between that and real life. That's the benchmark for an F1 game now, and I can tell you now, this is not it. Also, with the spray, I agree with Arav, what Arav says, that the older F1 games, 2010 to 2014, have the spray better. Like, because if you get too close to a car, you can't see in the full wet. You don't get that on the modern F1 game as well. So I think that'd make it a lot better. They need to work on this. I mean, we're wanting a new engine, and they haven't delivered that. I'm worried about this screen because it suggests in driver career mode you're not going to be able to create your own driver. You just got to pick one. What's the point? I might as well do championship mode. What is the point, EA, with doing that? And Codemasters, what's the point? Give us the option to drive as ourselves. That's what the player base wants. We don't want. Yes, some people want to drive. That's fine. I don't mind having the option of this, but give us the option to drive and create our own characters, because that's what the majority of us want to do. I mean, imagine if manager mode in FC, FIFA, whatever you want to call it, they took away the option to create your own manager there. Imagine that. You know, there are so many options in FC. You can, for example, you can manage as an existing player if you go through player career mode and then retire the player. Then you can. So if you take, I think, if you take like someone like Ronaldo or any player, existing player, take them through the play in the career, then retire and move into management. You can do that as well. Yes, obviously there's no. I mean, there is a my team aspect, but obviously it's not like Lando is the owner when you drive as him as well. But obviously you can also manage as an existing manager, for example, and you can move them about as well. So there's lots of things here that I think they're taken away as well, which is very, very disappointing. Now we're going to move on to reverse tracks. Now this is a nice addition, but it's only at 3 tracks, which is a shame. I'd love it if they added Monaco, because I think Monaco backwards would be fantastic. The other thing they haven't added, which some tracks that do have the option, is to race them at night time. I mean, why not? I mean, yes, that's also been a bit of an issue. And then obviously, so they make Monaco a night to race at night, which is what we want. But obviously, there's no option for that in career mode. And then when you race Monaco in the daytime, or any of those tracks that have a nighttime option, the lights stay on in the daytime. Yes, there needs to be. I'm hoping that one day there is a mod for doing that. If not, if they don't ever fix it. But the 3 tracks for reverse racing: the Red Bull Ring, Silverstone, and Zandvoort. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about those 3. Interlagos as well, I think would be pretty cool. There are some Monza. There are so many tracks. I think they need to expand this a lot. But obviously, the advantage, the thing you've got to think about here is that you've got AI. The AI need to be trained backwards, so you can race these. Not only, I was thinking this was good when I first saw this. I was thinking, okay, it's only going to be available in multiplayer and time trial, maybe, but no, Grand Prix mode and career mode. So yes, career mode from season 2, you will be able to race these backwards, which means they are effectively 27 tracks to choose from. Now, although this is good, DLC tracks, big missed opportunity. You've got tracks in your data such as Portimao as well, and also Paul Ricard, both recently on the F1 game. They should be basically in, because you've got the data. You should just be able to put them in. Tracks like, and then we've got so many other tracks like Hockenheim, the Nürburgring, Malaysia. there's a whole, the list goes on about DLC tracks. They need to be added in, really, as well. Even if I have to unlock them for doing a scenario in F1 World, I don't care. I just want them available in the game, make them available in career mode as well. The more options we have, the better it is for the game. But yes, you can see here we've got original and reversed. Not quite sure how the grids are going to be set out in reverse when you do, if they got the option for that. You've got people doing pit stops as well. But if you're doing if you're doing formation lap, you know, where's the marker? Because obviously there's no white lines when doing a reverse track. But yes, I think this is a nice addition. Podium celebrations. So they've said they refine these. It looks exactly the same, to be honest. Then we've got F1 World, which, to be honest, you've got invitationals, which is basically copying, it's blueprints from Forza. And to be honest, I mean, it looks cheaply made, to be honest. Yeah. Where's the party games? Where's the elimination mode? Elimination mode, day one, please, in F125. That's what we want. That's not what we're going to get. The thing they have done is they created this. This is they give you race winner, fastest lap, driver of the day, most overtakes, and cleanest driver, which that's a nice touch. Bit different screen as well, so that is a nice touch, giving you those awards. I can see maybe they'll give, like, maybe leagues could start getting out points for these or something like that. I don't know, now that those stats are available. They've also changed the audio. When I mean the audio, so Mark Priestley, when he first did this, he said, oh, I'm going to use an actual racing headset like we do on the grid, like the real life grid, to make it more realistic. But I think this is just a normal one. Correct me if I'm wrong. As well, yeah. Then they have added, obviously they've recorded more audios. You get audio feedback from team principals as well. And then Naomi Schiff has been promoted here, even though she was already in the game. They've used more technology as well, and the people talk as well. So yeah, I mean, I talked about this. I mean, this is Bahrain, Miami, Melbourne, Suzuka and Imola, actually the 5 tracks there. To be honest, Melbourne, I think it's been overdone. It's been like 3 times now in the recent games. I mean, what's wrong with the previous 2 ones? Why are they focusing on Melbourne as well? Suzuka probably is a welcome return, because I don't think that's been done in years. Same with Bahrain, actually, as well. And then they've obviously made the updates to trees and stuff. Then we got reverse grids. We're looking forward to seeing how that goes out. AI as well. Typical Grand Prix has been adapted for racing as well, which is good. The decal editor, it's not a decal editor, it's a sponsor placement editor. That's what it is as well. Sponsor liveries, I don't agree that these are the right way forward. Ignore this link, by the way. It's just a last week's one, which says learn about driver career here. We learn 2 things about driver career as well. So finally, special edition liveries that are available in the game will now apply to the car representing rather than the F1 world. When you select a 2025 team to drivers in career Grand Prix time trial F1, you'll be able to access this applicable special livery. Once you unlocked it, it's yours to keep. So then they've used ray tracing and path tracing. I mean, it looks pretty similar, to be honest, as well. I mean, this sky has been the same sky for years. Invitational, as I say. And then we come to the juicy stuff that's been hidden in this thing. Handling revisions. So, yes, we've got in rigorous internal tests and feedback gathered, from the community, sim racing and creator network. So for those who create a controller, which is also me, you'll notice that track conditions and the car's unique dynamics give you more intuitive feel to steering, allowing you to better understand the limits of grip. Yeah, I mean, they've been fiddling about with this every year to setting for better stability and less restricted driving. To be honest, the full traction control setting wasn't that bad. It was the medium and off that was such a big jump with traction control. I'm hoping that force feedback settings don't break, because they have been broken. Tyres have been done as well, but whether or not rapid steering inputs such as techniques that rely on a flicking will be less effective. I don't know what flicking is. As well as more aggressive drives will result in overheating the tyres and faster wear. I mean, I hope that they've tried to fix that disparity between, for me, I always have an issue with the disparity between the front and the rear tyres on the F1 game, but I think that's just a me issue. We've calibrated the ride rates for each compound. This aligned with alternate strategies at 50% races should allow for more variation with planning a 1 or 2 stop race. Well, in 50% races, they're most of the time they're a 1-stop race from medium to hard. As well, the clutch model's been revised. Not that the ERS has been recalibrated for deploy rates to allow more strategic harvesting at high speeds, but obviously they haven't changed the system, so anyone who didn't like the system on F124, you're going to be stuck with that. Our slipstream model has been adjusted to improve racing. You're likely to experience the effects of dirty air, because there was no dirty air in F124, but so they are adding dirty air into the game. The accuracy of the ride height and yaw data effects have been adapted in real world computational fluid dynamics and wind tunnel data. And then AI. So yes, following pre-trials and pre-release testing with highly skilled players, resulting in some incredible racing action, the team tuned the AI to better reflect the overtaking opportunities. First of all, I mean, AI were terrible on F124. You know, the fact of the matter is they were in DRS range. Whether or not to deploy DRS, AI will make better tactical decisions when to deploy DRS and ERS. Why do they need to make better tactical decisions to deploy DRS? You know, who in there? I hope I'm not going to see an AI once within DRS range of me, behind me, and they decide, you know what, I think it's a better tactical decision to stick behind him. I'm not going to open DRS in their logic, and they'll just sit behind. That, I hope that is not an issue. ERS is as well, but they just need to make overtakes as well. I'm hoping that they have made them, but as well. Quickfire changes. After magnitude and unprecedented roster changes, and again, this always says driver career mode. You're not going to be able to drive your own driver, which I hope then, you know, there is a mod that I can then mod over a particular driver, but obviously that requires a lot more work, which will be very restrictive knowing EA. So yes, when playing splits, you know the games are a smoother 60 FPS. I mean, this looks photo mode and it's pre-order now. Okay, I know I've rattled on for 25 minutes, but I think that's important that I get everything out. I could make a shorter video, but then I'd miss stuff out. I'm going to cover this list because this is awful. This was released on Tuesday, and it's the list of drivers that you can, well, effectively drive as, and I think in both driver and my team, which is going to be again awful, in my opinion. But I'm not going to go on that for that too much. So you've got the 20 drivers there. Then we come to, oh dear, the F2 drivers and F3 drivers. Like, they built such a thing as in, oh yes, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have F3 icons. You know, you're going to have so many drivers. You know, first of all, it's already a letdown because you haven't brought Formula 3, the Formula 3 car to the game. Then we turn out that you only got 4 drivers. 4 drivers from Formula 3. And I mean, what were they thinking of? You know, you've got no... Okay, we'll come back to reserve driving in just a moment, but the other drivers, of course, have all progressed to Formula 2. Obviously, you know, because this is the 2024 roster, hence why you've got drivers like Franco Colapinto here, as well as Zach O'Sullivan, Ritomo Mayato and others who have now left the series. Zane Maloney as well has moved to Formula E. A lot of drivers here that have left F2, and obviously, you know, they're bringing that out with that upgrade. But I think it's got to the point now where, why are you not launching F2 for 2025 from the start? Why is this having to come later down the line? I get it from the start, and I get it, but since EA take over, you've got if you need extra resources, EA should be providing those to ensure that F2 2025's grid is ready for launch. And then, if you're going to do this properly, you'll have the full grid of F3 drivers. You'll have 30 F3 drivers from the 2025 grid available, not 4. Alternatively, just give us the car as well. I mean, that would be nice too. But yeah, I'm starting to... Their excuses for not bringing the 2025 F2 grid to the game at launch, it's not acceptable anymore. And then we come to the F1 icons, and oh my goodness grief, this is worse. So I think it's 7 icons have been removed as well. Now, some of these, I mean, Alain Prost for starters. I always wanted one Manuel Fangio in the game, and still not there. Breaking Point, no Devon Butler. Simple as that. I'm not entirely sure if he was there in F1 23. I don't know. Esports drivers, I can't quite remember if those have changed or not. But yes, this is a massively reduced list, which is very disappointing. As well, they've not even added any new icons as well, which just makes the fact that you'll not be able to drive yourself in career mode just make career mode dead even quicker than last year, in my opinion. So yes, I'm going to finish off on F1 Gamers News as we usually do. We've got some pictures here actually that they posted, so this is the difference. So they repainted the white line, re-tarmac there, as well between F1 24 and F1 25. They've added a pond here. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be able to see it. The on-track experience will probably be the same, to be honest. Here's the 7 list: Butler, Chadwick, James Hunt, Kobayashi, Maldonado, Nigel Mansell, and Juan Pablo Montoya. Yes, that is not good. Just to confirm this about the podium celebration, so while podiums have been announced with new camera angles including VR cameras, it appears that the actual animations are not changed, which they haven't been changed in years too. Yes, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I'm going to leave it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news, see plenty more F1 25 gaming news videos. I'm not entirely sure what else they're going to bring out, but yes, my fears for this game are coming real. That they've basically just taken the cheap option on customization in terms of, yes, the liveries are the right direction, but it's the wrong application for me, personally speaking. So, and then the other stuff that we've got, you know, this game is impersonal when it comes to career mode, because all you've got to do is, you either can't drive as yourself in my team, that's confirmed. I suspect you're not going to be able to do that in driver career mode either. It is just awful game, I think, personally. And then of course that's not in addition to other stuff happening. You know, you've got to try and position yourself. You know, if you're in a driver career mode, for example, someone like me, how am I supposed to map that out? You know, there are things you can do, and I can bring an icon to the game, but with such a poor list of icons, yeah, I mean, there is a few storylines that I could do, like Franco Colapinto, for example, racing as him, but that's even if we get, you know, that's depending on what the contract system is like. Yeah, I'm not particularly happy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know there are probably some of you that are ecstatic to see just some new liveries, which, to be fair, it's the right idea, but it's the wrong application in my opinion as well. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.